What's up, people? It's your girl Adeola. Nigerians. Why now? How can you guys not be impressed with the First Lady's emotional outburst about the kidnapped girls in Nigeria?
Do you come with two teachers? You were not informed too? Continue. No problem. God will see us. There is God. There is God in everything we are doing. Those bloods that are sharing in Bronu will answer. What of two teachers, what of two teachers that can tell us that they conducted that exam? Do you come with any? Principal, you waka come. Okay. Now the First Lady is calling you, come, I want to help you. Come to find your child, your missing child. Will you keep quiet? No. Child, there is God, oh. There is God, oh. The bloods we are sharing, there is God, oh. There is God, oh. There is God, oh. There is God, oh. There is God.
God will see us. Oh my God, I'm trying. I'm trying not to laugh. Now only you waka come. We don't finish. Now to all of you that have been making fun of the First Lady, there is God. Oh. I said, instead of us to focus on the missing girls, look at what Nigerians are doing. Designing t-shirts, coming up with posters. In fact, check this out.
Where is the AC? What about the two fans that I say you should try? They are not working. These electricities that the discos are sharing. There is darkness. There is darkness. No light in the land. There is darkness.
There is darkness,
There is God. Is there light in Nigeria? No light. Chai. Education, God. Wrong education. Chai. Is there any road? Bad road. Chai. Employment. Zero. Chai. Water. No. Chai. Leadership. Corruption. Chai. There is God.
I still cannot believe that Nigerians would disrespect their First Lady like this. You know that statement, there is God, has been trending on Twitter for days now. This person said, I wanted to download that Shekau's video, but I don't have enough data. See, Godia, che, there is God. This person said, I dey for my village. Internet na problem. Shekau dey for the forest. Yet, in they get bandwidth, take upload video, 54 minutes for YouTube. Chai, there is God, oh. My mother wanted me to go to school when I didn't want to go to school. Che, there is God, oh. You see how notorious Nigerians are? I'm telling you, no respect. Haba, no matter what, this woman is still your First Lady. She's still your First Lady. Having said all that, though, I personally think that, Madam Patience was just trying to cause a distraction by putting up this drama. Seriously, why did it take her 21 days to care? Someone told me that she should have been crying since 2009 when Boko Haram started attacking people. Yes, and we heard that after these tears, which some people are calling crocodile tears, we heard that she arrested the protest leaders. Yes, and that she interrogated them, even though she denied it. Yes, so we heard about everything. Apparently, she accused them of fabricating the kidnap story in order to tarnish the image of her husband's administration. Yes, we heard about everything. I said, if that is true, if Patience and her husband are still thinking that this whole Boko Haram issue is just because some people don't like them, then we have a problem, a serious one. Anyway, for those of you that are still doubting the kidnap story, a lot of people have been writing me, asking me, how do we even know that these girls were truly abducted? Where are the pictures? Where are their names? Well, I think I can answer some of those questions. Now, besides the testimonies of the girls who escaped, Borno State was ready to publish their names and the pictures actually, but they said the Ministry of Defense has been preventing them from publishing the names and the pictures. I don't know why the Ministry of Defense won't want us to see these pictures and the names of these girls. Meanwhile, the elders of the town of Chibok released their own list, the list of the names of the girls. They released 180 names. For those wondering why it's only the SS3 students that were on campus at the time of the attack, they had actually closed down this school for some time now because of fear of Boko Haram, which is why they removed girls from the signboard of the school. You will see Chibok Girls Secondary School. Right now it's just Chibok Secondary School. So they only decided to open up the school so that the seniors could write their final examinations. Also, have you ever wondered what happened to the students inside the hostels that were burnt down? I mean, we've seen pictures of the burnt down hostels, but there were no dead bodies in the pictures. I mean, usually we see the dead bodies of the students because we all know that Boko Haram has never attacked an empty school. And not only that, WAEC has confirmed that this particular school was taking part in the examination, that the students were actually writing the exam until that day. So they confirmed that the girls were actually kidnapped. Now, another thing is, Boko Haram leader himself released another video confirming that he abducted those girls.
I abducted a girl at a Western education school, and you're disturbed. I said Western education should end. Girl, you should go and get married. I abducted your girls. I will sell them in the market by Allah.
And lastly, Amnesty International has released a statement claiming that they actually warned the Nigerian military 4 hours prior to the raid that they just found out that Boko Haram was planning to attack that school that night. Unfortunately, the military failed to act. By the way, a lot of people have been circulating a video of Boko Haram killing one woman, slaughtering a woman. That particular video has been around for some time now. They dug it up and they were circulating rumors. So please, it's not the girls. Actually, right now, Boko Haram is asking to swap the girls for their own members that had been arrested and that are in prison. I think the most ridiculous thing right now is the fact that Nigerian government is not happy that Borno State cried out when these girls were kidnapped, that they did not keep quiet. Do you know that the president invited the governor and officials of Borno State to Aso Rock? President Goodluck Jonathan personally interrogated these key officials from 9 till 2 a.m. Now, at the end of the interrogation, they were detained and later they released them on bail. Can you imagine? Now, the following Sunday, they were again taken to the presidential villa, and this time they were interrogated by the First Lady, the impatient Jonathan. Do you know they kept them on their feet for 4 hours before they ushered them into the First Lady's chamber? All because Borno State government did not keep quiet about the kidnap. And by the way, this is the leader of Boko Haram, Abubakar Shekau, speaking in English.
We are Boko Haram as long as the Muslim read and practice the injunction in the Quran, they will be powerful. Therefore, they deliberated on how to tactically making the Quran insignificant and unimportant.
Evidently, this man is educated. I mean, those were not the words that you would use if your English level is not only you wakakom. You get what I'm saying? So he's definitely educated. He just doesn't think that others should be educated, especially the girl child. And I have a problem with him being educated and not wanting others to be educated. Now, the good thing is, all of you that have showed your support by protesting all over the world, you all made a difference. Thank you so much for your protest in Texas. You got the attention of the world. Thank you for your protest in Toronto, in Netherlands, in New York, in Atlanta, and Nigerians all over the world and lovers of Nigeria that protested. Thank you so much. Thank you, Malala. You know, we really appreciate it, including the First Lady. Yes, Michelle Obama. Thank you. We appreciate it. Yes, bring back our girls. Yes. Anyway, thank you all so much for not keeping silent about this matter. We really appreciate it. And of course, the US has decided to send the FBI. And the UK as well as China, they're also sending in help, and so many other countries are joining in to help Nigeria. I mean, whatever it will take, we don't mind. Hopefully our girls can all come back home to us very soon, and hopefully the Nigerian government can sit tight from now on. Do you guys know that while all of this was going on, the presidency stationed about 6,000 security officers at the World Economic Forum in Abuja? And I'm like, what? You can afford to have 6,000 security officers protesters at the economic forum, and you can't send these people after the girls? I'm like, what? And every day those girls sleep in the Boko Haram camp. You have no idea, and you never know what they're going through. And while we're hoping for these girls to be rescued, they have kidnapped additional 11 girls. 11 girls in addition have been kidnapped. Not only that, Boko Haram killed more than 300 people last Monday in the middle of all this crisis. So that's just for you to realize how much freedom they have. They're just, doing whatever they want. I can't wait, honestly, to see an end to all this. Enough is enough. It's been way too long. And guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So last Sunday, I had the great privilege of meeting some of my Ethiopian viewers, and it was wonderful to be among them. Such a great crowd. Thank you so much, my Ethiopian brothers and sisters in Washington, D.C. It was great meeting you all. We had a great time together. And then we went to an Ethiopian restaurant, and the food was, the food was so good. While I was there, I asked my Ethiopian friends if I could visit, just to see how beautiful it is. I can't wait to visit Ethiopia someday, but I'm afraid that if I go right now, but can I go really right now? You will not advise for me to go right now? Will I be considered a terrorist? A terrorist? You can watch the rest of the speech on ESAT's website. That's the Ethiopian station here in the US that is doing an excellent job. You need to check them out. For every update about Ethiopia, please visit ESAT. Now, can you believe that they said I would be considered a terrorist? I mean, why would anybody in his right sense consider me, a small girl like me, a terrorist? Can you believe? I don't even look mean. Seriously, I smile a lot, I can't help it. Yes, there must be something wrong somewhere. And by the way, the government of Ethiopia has continued to use fear to coerce its own people. Remember that they killed more than 30 people last week, more than 30 people. And not only that, they jailed 6 bloggers because, if you blog about anything political, they can jail you. 3 journalists last Sunday were also jailed. But that's not the end of the story. Now you can't even take photos during a court session, because a law student last week took pictures during the court hearing of the 6 bloggers that were arrested, the ones that I talked about last week. And the next thing that happened is that they beat him up and they detained him just for taking photos. I'm like, what? We don't even think about it here. You bring out your camera, you take photos, Che. Does the Ethiopian government really think that people don't know what is going on in Ethiopia? And you think we don't know that your constitution, by definition, now considers journalists as terrorists? Whatever journalists report now, you can find a way to make them terrorists, unless they are journalists that are working for the government. We know what is going on. And something else that we know is that the government is a coward. Yes, the Ethiopian government is a coward. Only cowards hate challenge. Yes, only cowards use fear to coerce their own people. Yes, only cowards jail journalists, and only cowards jail bloggers. Yes, if you are not cowards, you shouldn't be afraid of challenge now. It's so unfortunate that a lot of media are now reporting what is going on in Ethiopia right now, and I'm like, why? Even a lot of the foreign correspondents that are living in Ethiopia are afraid of reporting the massacre, and I don't blame them because they've been harassing journalists lately. Meanwhile, Ethiopians all around the world have been protesting these killings, from San Francisco, Minnesota to Toronto, France, New Zealand, Las Vegas, and so many other places. Ethiopians abroad are not giving up, and I know that someday this era of dictators will be over. Now, to be honest with you, those who died are the real heroes. In my opinion, these people were not afraid to go out and protest. It's a shame that the government of Ethiopia would act so cowardly. But of course, I don't know anything. Yeah, you all know that. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. And speaking of leaders who terrorize their own people, the king of Swaziland is, of course, known to also use fear to coerce his people. The only ones that are not afraid of the king of Swaziland are his ex-wives, the ones that fled the palace. Yeah, honestly, I'm so happy for those women. Of course, I'm talking about the last absolute monarch in Africa, who is about to marry his 15th bride, by the way, and a teenager. Just imagine the whole of this man trying to force himself on a teenager. You have no shame, Some men are wicked. Why are you trying to force yourself on a teenager, By the way, that is not even what I want to talk about today. This man has now charged the opposition party leaders. He charged them of terrorism. Hey, yeah! I said, hey. All because the opposition leader said that it's time for Mr. President to step down. I mean, it happened on May Day. Mario Masuku, I hope I'm saying his name right, the 63-year-old president of the opposition party. This man addressed a rally and said that the king has got to go. You know, the next thing he was arrested along with the general secretary of the Swaziland Youth Congress. That is Maxwell Dlamini, and I hope I'm saying his name right, but both of them were charged with terrorism. I'm like, what? Why are all these dictators charging people with terrorism? You know, I'm not from Swaziland, but I also agree that it's time for the king to go. Does that make me a terrorist? No. And I don't even care if you think that I'm a terrorist. How can you be president for more than 25 years and your country will still be one of the poorest countries in the whole world? What exactly are you doing? We're talking about 1.2 million people, only 1.2 million people, and you're not able to take good care of them. Yeah. Just imagine. That is just like the people in Ojuelegba alone. Just Ojuelegba. How can 69% live below poverty level? That is too much now. In a country that has gold, diamond, coal, hydropower, huge forest, clay, and so on and so forth. This country is blessed when it comes to natural resources. I don't understand that. Meanwhile, his personal net worth is $100 million. Actually, that's kind of small compared to how much some of our people in Nigeria are stealing. But still, how can one man have a net worth of $100 million and 69% of the citizens will live below poverty level, and we're only talking about 1.2 million people? So if you are the president over 5 million people, what will you do? You know, somebody asked me how he got his wealth. I said, true. What do you think? This money belongs to the people. You know, just like the former dictator of the Congo. Remember, Mobutu Sese Seko? Hey, yeah, that one. He would buy a house in another country, let's say like here in the US, and then he would rent that same house to the government of the Congo. This is the president doing yahoo yahoo on his own people. So the government will now be paying him rent in order to use the building. Does that make sense? So everywhere you have a Congolese embassy, they are paying rent to the president's personal bank account because the president already bought the building. See yahoo right there. See real Ogidigbo scam. So through that and other fraudulent means, that man acquired more than $5 billion. So the king of Swaziland is also using the wealth of his country, you know, to enrich himself instead of providing basic amenities, instead of providing good hospitals, good schools, and so on and so forth. He's just enriching himself. He's only doing elephant projects that have no real value to the people of Swaziland. And now you can't even protest in Swaziland because you're automatically considered a terrorist if you protest. By the way, the king had banned this opposition party a long time ago. You know, they called this party the People's United Democratic Movement, but the king banned it a long time ago. Where is that done? How can you not allow opposition party in a country? Now, these guys that were arrested, the High Court judge refused to grant them bail. He said that it's on the grounds that they were a flight risk. That means that they can escape and, you know, get out of the country. So they refused to grant them bail. They've also ordered them back to court on May 16th for a pre-trial hearing. You know, one thing that I don't understand is that it looks to me like in Africa, the countries that don't have terrorists, they are creating their own terrorists by arresting innocent people and calling them terrorists. Do you guys think that terrorism is a good thing to have? Ethiopia, Swaziland, you guys think it's a good thing to have terrorists? You arrest people, you call them terrorists. What a shame. I don't blame you. By the way, these two were arrested just as they were releasing 7 other members of this same opposition party that they arrested previously. You know, they charged those ones unlawfully soliciting support for a terrorist group. Once again, there goes the word terrorist. It's not a good word. Just because they were chanting slogans of the opposition party and because they were wearing t-shirts and berets of their party. That was why they were arrested. But luckily, they released them as well. So just in case the king of Swaziland watches videos on YouTube, just know we're watching you. Yes, I'm keeping my eyes on you. Don't think we don't know what you're doing. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Kenya, my people. Always listen when I tell you, be careful about drinking ogogoro. It can be dangerous, so go and ask my Kenyan brothers and sisters. They will tell you that this week has not been funny. More than 80 people died this week because they drank ogogoro after drinking a toxic brew. How do you explain 80 people dying in one day. Not because they had accidents or they were shot by robbers, but because they drank locally brewed alcohol. Now, the general belief is that this alcohol was laced with industrial chemicals. We still don't know who did it, even though they've started investigating the source. Now, some of those who did not die became blind. Just imagine this. It's very, very sad. Please accept my deepest condolences, my Kenyan people. A lot of these people at the hospital were saying, oh, I'm ready to give up alcohol for good if I can just make it. It's so sad that so many of them did not make it. Now, my main problem is with the government agency in charge of a standardization of edible products. They have to take this as life and death issue, because I heard that this has happened in Kenya before, that a lot of people died after drinking locally made alcohol. But it may be alcohol today, but tomorrow it may be bread, it may be just random thing that everybody eats. So I hope that this government agency will take responsibility for slacking. I know that they said that this thing was made locally, yet we need to make sure that even those products that are made locally are inspected and that they meet standard. But my deepest condolences to everybody in Kenya that have been affected by this tragic incident. Please accept my condolences. And guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Before I leave today, I'd like to read some of your emails. I got a lot of compliments from a lot of people this week. Thank you so much, every one of you. This one is from Khalil Ola, and he says, this is a message to the world from Malaysian concerned students. Keep up the good work. Thank you. He sent a photo of him and Malaysian students standing by these kidnapped girls in Nigeria. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. This next email is from Yagu Jagne. Sorry if I didn't say your name correctly. He says, hi Adeola, I'm a Gambian living in Norway. Thank you for taking up all of these important subjects that touches us one way or the other, especially about the girls kidnapped in Nigeria. Thank you. I really appreciate that coming from a Gambian. Thank you very much. This next email is from Oyewale Lawal, and he says, dear Adeola, these are pictures from Yasa University in Turkey demonstrating their solidarity and demanding for the release of the Nigerian kidnapped girls. And he sent pictures. Thank you so much. Yeah, these are some of the pictures that he sent. I really appreciate you guys sending me pictures of the protests around the world. And this next email is from Egpa Benjamin. I'm sorry if I just mispronounce your name. And he says, hi Adeola, I'd like to commend you on this great work that you're doing. I'm a favorite viewer of your show, so much that my friends call me Adi Guy, meaning Adeola's guy. Okay. Well, my friends and I in the UK have been filling all the petitions that you suggested, and we took a picture in respect of the Chibok girls and the Yanya bomb blast, which claimed the life of many, including my loved one, Jennifer Jack. I'm so sorry. And this goes to everyone that lost someone in the bomb blast. I'm so sorry about your loss. Please, would you be kind enough to just show this picture just as a sign of respect to my love and a wake-up call for Nigerians in the diaspora and at home? We're all saying that enough is enough. Thank you so much. And here is the picture that he sent. Thank you for standing by these girls even in the UK. Also, our next email is from Lukman Salami, and he says, good day to all at Sahara TV. The US is not helping Nigerian government, and this is what we get for having an incapacitated government. However, good luck getting America boots off Nigeria after it's all said and done. And then he said, my regards to the chairman, Alhaji, Bishop, video editor, the sound mixer, make I stop, or my email go day long. I'm talking about the one and only Kolidowo. Hey, why are you smiling? Because they called you all of these names, eh? Thank you, Jare, Mr. Lukman. Yeah, but next time, don't say all these things. You will make his head swell. And video mixer, videographer, everything. You are everything. Everything is you. Call it over. I do well. Thank you. I appreciate you. Even though sometimes we don't get along, but I appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Lukman, for sending that email. All right, y'all. That's all the time that I have for emails today. Please keep sending your emails to adeola.keepingitreal@gmail.com. All right, y'all. It's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.
Welcome to First View Luxury Hotel. At First View Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit First View Luxury Hotel. We are located at number 1 Adeola off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Festac, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 080-7578-7135 or 080-9990-0601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.firstviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. First View Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.